welcome back to my vanilla let's play. And in this episode, which I'm recording immediately after the previous episode, which is getting a little bit long, I actually think I might go into my creative world first and show you what I had in mind for the next bit that I'm gonna do here. So, cancel single player, here it is. That's not where I wanted it to be. That's not where I wanted it to be at all. That's for later. I forgot that I was messing with that. Okay. Time for a little flight back. With this particular end, if you're wondering about all the different pillars, that's because I did defeat the Ender Dragon here in 1.8.9, and then I went and respawned it, and that does actually work. And then I've watched somebody else's video and saw that it worked, so that was after I'd already figured that out. Wah! Must go crazy. But I was gonna build one of these. Now I'm probably not going to record the whole process like I did with the last episode, because that would make it for like a 2 or 3 hour video. But it should give you an idea. This is actually in the correct spot, and I need to do that in the other world. Actually. But yeah, just some silos and some automated farming for spawn. And I'm going to move the chicken farm into this back room instead of being up there. But yeah, just some sugar cane, some cactus, and pumpkins and melons, and cocoa beans, because I do have those. Yeah. And then here's a very special villager. I've got him plopped here. It'll take a bit more doing to get one in the actual world, because I'm not going to be spawn eggs and plop them right there. But other than that, so I think I'm going to go back to the Let's Play world here. Hang on. Get back. Save and quit. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need wood. Ooh, that worked out perfectly. And because we don't really care about safety around here, so, safety's overrated. But yeah, it's a 25 block extension off the back, basically. Same size, and then goes up a lot higher. So yeah, this isn't going to be the most interesting thing ever, so no, that's actually right. It ends right there, and then the wall goes there. So I think I'm going to cut here, and I shall return when I finished. I think I'm just going to go ahead and throw all the farms in or whatnot. If you really want to know how to do those farms, the people you need to look at are Mumbo Jumbo and Tango Tech and Assumovoid. So, because they're really pretty basic standard farms, and I don't think I really need to rehash them. So I'll be back when I finish this. I was gonna make two or three episodes and show building each thing individually, but yeah. Oh, and for the silos, that's actually Tango Tech's design, and I don't happen to have a world from him directly, but I do have the definitive Let's Play from Cupfan. So yeah, if you're wondering where I actually pulled it from. But anyways, I'll cut here, and I'll bring you guys back after I'm done. and several real life days, and actually I did a lot of this in a live stream later. I have this whole thing completely finished, or at least mostly finished. I'm not sure what else we would need for other people, but I've got most of it prepped anyways. Let's see. I did run out of steak. I know there's no cow farm, but there's actually... I'm not sure where I would get cows from at the moment. And also, additionally, there's no sheep either, currently. That would be because sheep are kind of rare in this area. I did have to modify this a bit from the one that's in my little testing world, but it is all working, and I'm going to jump into creative here and show you a little bit and talk a little bit to finish out the episode. Hang on. Mode 1. But, yeah, I did have to tweak it a bit because the building here does not match the one that's in creative exactly. So, I had to tweak a few things to make it fit properly, but I did get the cactus farm in, and I have the pumpkin and melon farms. I did actually manage to get the clock to fit in better, though, because that was one of the things I struggled with in my test world. I could never get that quite right. And of course, the chicken cooker. I can never remember how the delay should be set, or if that should be on subtraction mode. It doesn't seem to matter, and it is working. And then a sugarcane farm and whatnot, and there's a pumpkin. And of course, in the previous episode, I did move the enchanting room. I had to go and redo a little bit of it, and I went ahead and threw up some stairs just to make it look a little bit prettier. But then I have this running under here. This is a hopper line for overflow from the storage area back here, so that if everything is all completely full, it's got somewhere to go besides backing up. And if it backs up, it's been my experience that what happens is you'll end up losing your actual, how you have it set up for the sorter. It'll suck everything through it. I don't know why it does that, but it does. So, but then when I moved the chicken cooker, I found that we have this big empty hole here, and I was thinking, you know, there should probably be a little bit of potion brewing stuff set up for anybody who joins. And so I've got a chest with a little bit of stuff in it for decoration. Threw some lily pads in there, and a little bit of nether wart. And while I was doing things, I got to thinking about this villager breeder over here. They're doing love hearts now because I was doing a little bit of testing, and I found something interesting. Due to the new hitbox change with 1.9, when they toss food at each other, if you use this type of a villager breeder, it goes everywhere. There was literally potatoes and carrots over here and over there, and it was a mess. And I have updated this map. The one that's over at my base isn't up to date yet. I meant to bring it, and then I forgot about it. But yeah, some leftover materials. Little chest here. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. No. I forgot I was in creative. Hang on, back to survival. Silly me. But yeah, so far it looks like that's mostly done. Let's see. Skeleton farm. Main nether hub. Map. I've actually done the map. There is a map. I had a thought And now I forgot what it was. That was something to add that would be really great for her in Spawn. What was it? It must not be terribly important. But, yeah, expanded. That's it over there, I believe. Yeah. I can't move the ender chest right now due to not having a silk touch anything at the moment. Oops. But one thing I did not include in my original design was any kind of a vine farm. I also didn't have the nether wart out front, but I did have a bit of a cocoa bean farm, and because the sizing of everything is slightly different, I made this little alcove for the cocoa beans. A little chest here for them. You know, all the farms are working. But this is just a really basic silo system. It's something that I've personally picked up in my brief tenure into Minecraft. I always use iron blocks for my redstone. So for me, an iron farm is very important. But anyways, I think I might head back home. Wait, no. That was something else I was going to do. Now remember something else to do. Change the signs. Community enchanting area. Let's see. Like that. That should work. Basic farms. And then I did in the previous episode. There is now a little tree farm over there. How best to arrange the signs? That's something that I struggle with for this. I'm not quite sure on how to arrange the signage. Let's try there. Public tree farm. And then some of that, maybe. I don't know. I think that'll work. What did I put in this book anyways? Nothing. There appears to be nothing in that book. I thought I had a book filled out. Whatever. Whatever. But yeah, vines and whatnot. And there I go again with the ums. I think I'll meet you back at my base. So, I'll see you there. And we're back at base. And I am not seeing any of that anywhere. Must have forgot to put a sign for the... Oh well. Anyways, I think I'm finished with that for the day. The only other thing left to do would be to... Not that map. No, it updated. Cool. I did not know that. I guess if you update the one map, it updates the copies too. Because I did not update that or that on this map. That's good information to know. Before I end the episode, there is something that I wanted to share in my actual episode for the people who don't really want to sit down and watch a full 2.5 hour long live stream. On the live stream, I did discover something interesting with these tree farms. Due to the piston translocation bug that is in Minecraft 1.9, the leaf crusher, it does crush the leaves, but instead of the saplings falling into these hoppers like they're supposed to, they get pulled through, and so they end up on these blocks behind it. And I just thought I would mention that in my episode to let the 2 or 3 people who actually watched the episode know about the bug. And so I've had to completely rip this part off of our little tree farm here so that I can grab all the saplings, because otherwise it'd probably still take a while to run low on saplings, but eventually over time, if you don't gather all the saplings, you'll have less and less, and so that's not going to work very well. Let's see, the thing I can think to do right now would be to put some stuff away. I already got everything else moved from spawn back here. Between episodes, I didn't do everything during my live stream. Let's see, that. I don't really need that in there, don't need that. That actually goes over there. Yeah, I'll go ahead and pull that. I don't really need the obsidian in there either, do I? I think this goes here. Yes, it does. And due to the changes into update to 1.9, you need the blaze rods in order to brew a potion. It's alright. Let's see, miscellaneous goes here. The chest goes in there too. Diamonds. Swimming in bones here. Cobblestone. Yeah, put that up there. Stone brick. Nope, that's andesite. Stone bricks. Netherrack is up to there. I'm not sure if I mentioned in my episode in an earlier part or not, but I did finally find a mending book in a temple. That's actually on my to-do list as well. It's not directly stated on my signage board here, but part of the whole bringing villagers in here and whatnot, one of the goals is to get a mending villager. Now, I've put a lot of thought into it, and the best place for said mending villager, when he is located, I'm not going to let him just run around all over the place freely. No. Mr. Mending gets to have a nice permanent home up here where he's nice and safe from the hordes. Because this is on hard mode, and it's my understanding that they fixed the zombie horde thing, even though this is inside the walls, since there's going to be a valid village in here at some point, I will have the occasional zombie invasion, and so to protect him, he gets his own special place up here. Anyways, I think that's probably all that I have time for in this episode. So, if you didn't... Wrong button! So, if you did enjoy this episode, please do leave a like, and if you really enjoyed it, then please be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode, which I went and looked up, and it's looking like it's going to be episode 20, so I will see you there. Take care, bye-bye.